Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. I just want to preface today by saying that we're in the middle of planning our first ever Comic Fest for our kids. So my brain is just like in a million different places. So I'm so sorry if I ramble. I'm so sorry if I forget things or if today's not that great. I apologize ahead of time. My brain's just going a mile a minute. That's the saying, right? So anyway, for our first idea, we're gonna have our cheaper, easy idea, and it is plarn. And if you haven't heard of plarn, it's plastic yarn. So after book fair, I'm going to try to be quiet because I'm sure the plastic sounds awful on the mic. After book fair, we always have a ton of these plastic bags. So what you can do is you can cut off the top right here, cut off the handles, and cut off the bottom, and you'll have one big fat loop. Then you cut that loop into strips like these. And what you do is you just loop these strips together. I'm going to show you really quick. I'm going to try to do it fast so it doesn't hurt your ears. But you put one loop through the other, you bring it around, and you loop them like that. And you just keep going, and then you end up having one long string of plarn. And you can do bracelets with those. You can do jump ropes with them. You can make even bags or baskets and bowls out of them. It's pretty cool to show the kids that they can actually create something real out of plastic bags, which are kind of a problem because people usually don't recycle them and they're everywhere. So that's just a really good way to get started. There are so many activities online. If you just Google plarn, you'll find a ton of things. For our non-tech purchase, I don't have one today. I'm so sorry. Like I said, my brain just started shutting down. But for our tech item, I have Arduino for us today. So if you don't know what an Arduino is, this is one, and it looks like that. And it's basically just a little mini motherboard, and you can program it to do different things. And before the kids can do an Arduino, and before they learn how to do it, they have to learn how to do a breadboard. And this right here is a breadboard. And what it is basically just takes the place of soldering. So you don't have to use the heat. All of these little dots are connected in certain ways for power. So you stick your power down here, you have your wires around, you put lights, you can do all sorts of different things with just the breadboard alone with lights and buttons and things. And then eventually you add the Arduino and you code the Arduino to do different things and to interact with different things on the lights. I know we did like a night light, we did a battery tester, we did like a stoplight type deal. Those are all basic ones. And these are all things that I had to look up online because it's real code that you code the Arduino with. And my skills were not there. So I actually had to put some effort into learning it. But the kids really enjoyed it. It was a good step up. And it was great for my fifth and sixth graders. They really enjoyed it. I wish we had gotten a little bit further, but it's so cheap too compared to other things. You know, the Arduino, the real ones are only like $20. The knockoff ones, I have a knockoff one, it works fine, was only like $10. And then these, I mean, these are like a couple of bucks. The lights are pennies, the wires are pennies. And so, you know, a kid burns something out or breaks something, it's fine, just throw it away, get a new one. And so it really encourages, you know, taking those risks and putting yourself out there. I have a book of activities of these on my website that I gave out last time. I'll give the link to that this time. And those are just basic, really, really basic ones that I've used with my kids that they enjoyed. And all the lines of code are on there also. And so for our website, what I wanted to show you is if you're thinking about taking the leap to Arduino, or if you have Arduinos but you don't have enough to share with all your kids, I know we always use Tinkercad for 3D printing, but they actually recently moved circuits.io to Tinkercad. So they actually have the virtual breadboard and the virtual Arduino on there for you to use to test out your stuff before you actually test it out with the breadboard and the Arduino. So I'm going to show you guys how to use that today. So this is Tinkercad, and as you can see, I was trying to make some like little big stuff and Lego stuff. It didn't quite work out how I wanted, but anyway, on the left, after you sign into Tinkercad, you can do your circuits. And if you click circuits, here are all the different designs that I've made with the breadboard, and later on you can see the breadboard with the Arduino. And these were just things that I tested out before I actually used my real kit in real life. So this right here is my first one. And so I just had the battery with the positive and the negative. I had my resistor and I have my lights. So if I click start simulation, we see that the light lights up. And so we know that in real life, if we use all of this and set it up the same way, it will probably work. Every once in a while, something will be weird and won't work. But I would say 95% of the time, the simulation works just as well in real life as it does online. So then once the kids have kind of mastered this, and you can see all our parts are on the right, you can click and drag over. Once the kids have mastered this and you've tried it, you would move on to the Arduino. And so it's the same thing, but instead of a battery pack, we have the Arduino and we have all our wires. It looks really intricate, but honestly, once you sit down and figure out how the power and the circuits work, it's not as bad as it looks. And so this is our stoplight. And this right here on the right is our code. I did have the kids type that in. I had it to the side printed out for them. I did find it online. It's not straight out of my head. And the kids typed that in. And when we start our simulation, we would see that if it's going to work, we would see red light for a certain amount of time, and then it should switch to the yellow light because it's like our stoplight, and then it should switch to our green light. It should actually, I just realized, go the other way around, green and then yellow and then red, but anyway, you get the idea. So that is circuits on Tinkercad. It's just a really cool resource, and I'm always shocked that it's free because it works so well and it's just so great. It helps me debug things on the right. You know, once you type in your code, it'll help you kind of point out what lines are bugged and you can figure it out from there. So I hope that's helpful to you. I hope that you got something good out of our session today, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.